of the epidemic, since the closure of these business entities by the national government, Mr. Speaker, the flow of funds, the income has been largely affected. And so I support, Mr. Speaker, let the owners and operators get a 50% discount and pay 50% for the remaining 3 months until to the closure of the financial year in terms of the finance bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Cosmas Masesi, for seconding that motion. I now propose the question that this Honorable House resolves that all charges for permits, including public health certificates and single business permits for bars and clubs, and any other alcoholic selling business, be reduced by 50%. That the reduction be effective for businesses applying for permits between 8th October and 30th November 2020. Honorable members, you may debate on the motion. Honorable Kisila.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand here to support the motion. This has come out in a lot of forums through our people on the ground. The COVID-19 has grossly affected businesses. And it's only fair that we support our people. Because if we don't support them this way, they will obviously suffer. They have already suffered, and charging them the exact amount of fee will actually be making them suffer more. So, first of all, as a member of the Finance Committee, this was brought to our attention, and also as a member of Mwala, our people are requesting if we can take action so that we can be able to support them. So, Bwana Speaker, I stand here to support, and I think we should pass the motion.
Thank you. Honorable Helen Ndeti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand here to support the motion because I believe that everybody knows that from January or February of this year, most of the bar operators have not been able to open their businesses. In fact, we would have called for a waiver, not going 50%, but we also have to think about the county, which also has to levy revenue so that it can also deliver services to the people of Machakos. So I support the motion that we levy 50% so that we can also cushion their losses. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Moses Mita.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Moses Mita, representing Kangundo Central Ward people. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the mover of the motion, Honorable Stephen Mwandi, for thinking about our business people. Honorable Speaker, indeed our traders have been fully affected by this COVID-19 issue. Not only bar owners, but also all the businesses across the country. Honorable Speaker, I would want to maybe request the Honorable Stephen Mwandi, because the pleas are too, Honorable Speaker. And it's good we get it right, Honorable Speaker, so that whatever will pass is clear and crystal clear to the traders, Honorable Speaker. Number one, that all the charges for permits, including public health certificates and single business permits for bars and clubs and any other alcoholic selling business be reduced by 50%, Honorable Speaker. There is two, that the reduction be effective for businesses applying for permits between 8th October and 30th November 2020, Honorable Speaker. This point I'm seeking clarity, Honorable Speaker, is that it is clear that whatever we are passing is not implementable in the forthcoming financial year, Honorable Speaker, so that we don't have a resolution which might be misinterpreted, Honorable Speaker. I wish to request Honorable Stephen Mwanthi maybe to clarify that whatever we are about to pass, if at all the House will adopt it, is only and purely for this year, Honorable Speaker, and that from January next year, the traders will be paying what they are supposed to pay, Honorable Speaker. That is the only clarity I wanted to request Honorable Stephen Mwanthi to make, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Let me just try and understand what you're saying. The motion which has been moved here is reducing by 50%, which means going forward, they'll be paying only 50%. Okay? Or is it reducing, is it seeking to have them reduced by 50% for 6 months, and then after that they revert to the normal rates, or are we reducing permanently? I think that's the question. Are we reducing permanently by 50%?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The number 2 has highlighted that, and we are requesting for that only as from 8th of October to the 30th November 2020. That is just 1 month and some days. Reason being, as a revenue committee, we would also want them to move fast and take advantage of the 50% reduction so that they may pay. After 30th of November this year, we will revert back now to the normal 100%. Maybe for those who will not have opened, we will revert back now to the 100% that was there before. So it's just like a 1 month waiver for them at least to rush and take that advantage of paying the 50%, then later revert back.
Then I would suggest that you have a C. My suggestion is, as I give guidance, is you have a 3 that any payments which will be done after 30th of November will be, as always from 1st of December, will be as per the normal rates. Put it here so that it doesn't have any ambiguity in this. I would suggest to move an amendment to the motion so that you add that item 3 there to ensure that people know that so that for you to be effective, what you want to achieve to be effective, let it be clear that anybody who pays on 1st of December will be paying as per the normal rates, then we'll have achieved. I would suggest that, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Then I wish to move the amendment to have the number 3, indicating that payments made after the 30th of November, that is from 1st of December, the payments reverts back now to the normal rates of the finance bill, Honorable Speaker. So if we can have that C, and then I call upon Honorable Brian Kisila to support that amendment.
Thank you, Honorable Brian Kisila.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Honorable. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry for that. My name is Honorable Brian Kisila, representing the people of Mwala. I support.
Honorable Tariq Mulatia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Honorable House. I stand here to support this motion. My name is Honorable Tariq Mulate Mwema, representing the great people of Masinga Central and the great business people around that region. Mr. Speaker, I think on Friday last week, I had public participation at Masinga Market. Actually, people were ready to demonstrate and bring kills to my market because of what we are talking about right now. And our people, when we gave them the chance, because I went there with the administrator and the revenue, the person who is in charge of revenue, Masinga Sub-County, and the public really, they were driving very strong points to us. One being that COVID-19 did not only affect Masinga Central. It was not even affecting only Kenya. It was affecting the whole world. And Mr. Speaker, you will note that when our revenue clerks, they are collecting the revenues there, they try to use force because, you know, it's not all our people who are ready to pay. So when we went there, it was chaotic. And I told them that because I had to call Honorable Stephen Mwandi, because he's the finance chair. Actually, I called him and I had to put him on speaker, asking him how we can help these people from our area. The people who run clubs and bars, they were very specific. It's only remaining less than 2-3 months for the financial year to close. And they were being told, and they closed their businesses back from March, around that period. And these people, they have been staying at home. And you will realize that, Mr. Speaker, liquor is not like maybe you are selling sand or stones. Liquor will expire. So you will note that somebody who had a stock from that time, it has expired. And now to look for capital to come back to this business, it's quite a challenge. We've seen what rains have done to our farms. You can see how dry it is in Machakos County, even in Kenya. So I really support this motion because our people really need this favor. And you know, if it comes to next year, we also, because I saw your directions to the chair, that to specify exactly how we want it to be. But I think, Honorable Speaker, as much as we want to help our people, we don't want them to start another chaos the coming year. We want it to be a peaceful year. Let them get advantage of what the reduction for this year. But also we should also, Honorable Chair Finance, we should also specify if you didn't pay within that period and next year comes, what is your fate? Are you still going to pay what you are supposed to pay, the 50%, and then come back here? Or if the period closes, is it October or November? November. If it closes, then that is gone story. You have to repay again. I think we have to specify because our people are very keen when they are paying this revenue. And,
Point of information.
I wish to be informed also.
Okay, point of information by Honorable Cosmas Masesi.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a member of the Finance Committee, I want to believe we talked on that issue at a length. And this is only, Mr. Speaker, is only the period, for the remaining period of this financial year. Mr. Speaker, if you don't pay within or in between to 30th November this year, January 1st December, as you had put it, Mr. Speaker, you will pay the normal rates for this financial year, which again, Mr. Speaker, cuts across the next financial year, rates will be normal, no issues of reduction of the 50%.
Okay, Honorable Tariq.
I think, Honorable Speaker, we should be very keen on this particular section. What about if somebody did not make it to open his shop maybe within this period, and then the last month, the last 10 days, he happens to open and he could not gather all this money?
Point of information.
We really need, Honorable Speaker, as much as he is going to inform me, we really need to be specific so that we won't confuse our people, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Steve Mwandi.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I just want to inform the member that, and one thing we need all to understand is all our SBPs expires on the 31st day of December every year. So as by January of every year, we start afresh issuing SBPs. So whatever we are doing here will only apply for this year. Whoever will be paying us from 1st of December to the 31st of December, it means that his or her permit will only help him or her for 30 days only. And even if he pays on 2nd of December, he will again pay in the month of January just as usual. So the year for these SBPs ends on that first of December every year.
Just to add on to that, I think for guidance, normally it begins on 1st of January, but in normal they are given a grace period up to 31st of March. So I think what the honorable member is saying that if you pay now the 50% now, then you'll be able to run with the 50% up to the 31st of March. Yeah, because they are given a grace period of 3 months within which to pay. So that trader can be able to utilize that 50%, and then before the 1st of March, they'll pay for the full year next year again. So I think that is that. Am I right, Honorable Chair? Okay, Honorable Tariq, finalize, please.
Yeah, I'm finalizing. Honorable Speaker, also there is another issue on the same collections, because I'm trying to bring to the House what I gathered from my public participation. Maybe, honorable members, some of us did not get that chance to meet with our people. They're also complaining about the penalties. And I don't know if, because I have not read the report, I was outside. So I don't know how we are going to do with the penalties, because some of them are saying, by that time when they were supposed to pay, there was a closure in the whole country. So they could not pay. So some of them, they came to open their shops later, maybe March or June. So they were also, I would think also we should also amend here and say that we should stop the penalties, at least for this year. Then next year, we resume back to our normal. So I don't know how we are going to put, we need a direction here.
Honorable Tariq, I think has a valid point. What Honorable Tariq Mulate is asking is that normally our traders are given a grace period to pay by 31st of March. And remember that COVID struck in March. So maybe by the 31st of March, there might have been traders who had not yet paid for their permits. And then in April, it was stopped completely. So I think the honorable member is asking, are we telling them they'll be charged a penalty plus the 50%, or is just that the 50% without the penalty? Because now, if our people now go on the ground and say that, yes, you did not pay on time, so we are charging you penalty, and then now take advantage of the 50%, so they'll be demanding for penalty and then saying pay 50%. That is, I think, what the honorable member is saying, which needs to be clarified. Honorable Steve.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think as committee, in fact, we end interactions with the executive, who is the chief officer and the director, over that issue of penalty. And we all agreed that this year we are not supposed to penalize all our traders, not only the ones in the clubs. We had that agreement. And so maybe because it was not legislated in the assembly here, then I feel it's something that maybe we can add, and if possible for all the traders, because it will not make sense when we penalize our people when they were closing their shops. For sure, by that 1st of March, when they were supposed to have paid, their shops were closed. Our revenue clerks were even at home. So it doesn't make sense when we charge them, when we penalize them, when even they were not there, the clerks could move around and pick their revenues, Honorable Speaker. So I believe it's a brilliant idea that if with your guidance, if it is possible now, even the penalties to touch across the traders, all the traders should not be penalized, Honorable Speaker. But that will be through your guidance. I don't know, because the motion looks somehow as addressing bars and clubs. If possible, we can have that. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I would also request for number 4, amendment that will touch all our tenders, possibly stating that there will be no penalties for all tenders in Machakos County for the year 2020.
It just needs to be specific. It's for late payment of permits.
Yeah. Thank you. There will be no penalties for late payments of the SBPs for all our traders in the year 2020. Honorable Speaker.
Conduct, please, of the motion.
And so I call upon Honorable Mbili Ndawa to second that amendment.
Honorable Judas Mbili Ndawa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Judas. Mr. Speaker, my name is Judas Mbili Ndawa, representing the great people of Matu. I want to second the motion and request if you allow me to contribute at this point.
Second, the amendment.
Yes, I want to second the amendment proposed by the chairperson.
So before you move, I want to put the proposal fresh.
Yes.
So that you can now contribute with the new amendments in place.
Yeah.
Honorable members, there are some amendments that have been moved, and I now propose the question that this Honorable House resolves that all the charges for permits, including public health certificates and single business permits for bars and clubs and any other alcoholic selling business, be reduced by 50%, that the reduction be effective for businesses applying for permits between 8th October and 30th November 2020. 3, payments made as from 1st of December 2020 will revert back to normal charges for the next financial year, for the financial year. And 4, no penalties will be charged for late payment of permits in the financial year 2020. You may now continue to contribute on the motion as amended. Honorable Judas Ndawa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want to first congratulate the chairperson who has brought this motion. In fact, the motion is timely. Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, the county charges business from January to the end of the year, that is at 1st December. And as you are aware, Mr. Speaker, in the month of March, the traders and only overrated for 3 months. That is January, February, and part of March. From that time, there was about 6 months closure by the national government because of COVID-19. So the remaining time that they're supposed to work is only 3 months. That is October, November, and December. So if you do proper calculation, you will find that the business will only operate for 6 months. So the proposal to cut the fees by 50% is quite in order because we are paying for the period we are going to do business. Mr. Speaker, I strongly believe that the motion is brought in good faith. And why I'm saying it is brought in good faith? Because of effects of this COVID-19, some of the business operators have already gone down. Their financial status has gone down. And unless we do something to assist them, they may not even continue operating their businesses. Mr. Speaker, if they opt not to operate the business, the county itself is also going to suffer because those who are supposed to pay these fees have gone on. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say this COVID-19 has brought what we call in law, in Julius Sindamnam, it has injured the businesses. And at the same time, it has cost damages to those businesses. And at the same time, it has injured the county and it has caused damages to the county. So, Mr. Speaker, I believe the chairperson will go to heaven because of thinking of how to assist the county move forward and also how to assist the business people to continue in their business. So, Mr. Speaker, I strongly support that point. The other point, Mr. Speaker, I want to talk about is the issue of penalties. Mr. Speaker, the delay of payment is not the fault of the business people. It is the fault of the epidemic, that pandemic that came. The National Assembly, guided by the Minister of Health, sat down and agreed that we are going to close these businesses. So it is because of that, that is why these people fail to make their payment in good time. So there is no need of punishing these traders for mistakes that they never committed. So, Mr. Speaker, I strongly agree that let us allow our traders who did not pay without charging any extra coin. And Mr. Speaker, this communication should be made properly so that we can secure our traders from this extortion by these inspectorate officers. Because whenever they go there, they just want to harass these people. They want to instill fear in them so that they can get whatever they are going to get for their own personal gain. In fact, Mr. Speaker, if all the monies that are supposed to be paid to the county go to the pocket of the county, I'm very sure the county will be moving forward. But because of these con men and con ladies, they are collecting funds, and instead of directing them to the right account, they pocket the money. As we are all aware, Mr. Speaker, there is what we call automation. The money is we are not supposed to collect cash. But if you go to markets, you will find these people collecting money cash. You will see somebody collecting from more than 20 traders. And if you ask, where is the receipt? Have you sent the money to the account? The response you will get from that particular revenue clerk is that I'm going to send in the evening. So who is going to watch? Who is going to ensure that the coin that was collected by 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, 10, 2 in the evening, in the afternoon, who is going to ensure that all that money has been sent to the right kitty? So, Mr. Speaker, I strongly agree with the proposals in this motion, and I would request the chair, when making your determination, kindly consider time. Because if you say, I commit this motion to a certain committee, report back after 30 days, they may not be able to report back that days. You will hear, please give us an extension. So the motion is going to die. So I'm requesting that we consider time so that the intention of the motion is achieved. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Angela Munyasia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I really would like to say I commend the committee for coming up with this resolution of having business permit traders licenses reduced by 50%. My only concern, Honorable Speaker, is that we have specifically put bars and clubs as the main businesses that we are considering for this. When it goes out there, it will be, people will wonder, these people just thought of bars. You know, not many people will, they'll say bars and, they say bars and alcoholic selling businesses. I don't know why we needed to specify those ones, Honorable Speaker, because business permits cuts across all the businesses. Many people lost businesses. There are people who own schools, and those schools
Many of them have closed down, and we have not specified here schools. So if we could only say for traders and not have to specify bars and alcohol selling institutions, then I think it will be more generalized, and we will not be seen like we are really putting emphasis on bars and alcohol selling businesses. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Angela, I think the spirit of the motion was that the business which was affected for 6 months and which was closed down over 6 months is alcohol, is bars. Those are the only ones which were opened up the other day in terms of businesses. I hear your cry in terms of schools, which are also affected. But since the motion has already been moved, then maybe we'll be able to look for amendments to the motion. But as it is right now, I believe it is the way it is tailored. It is tailored targeting the businesses which were closed for a very long period of time, business affecting everybody. The majority of our people, I think, are those in bars, not those who own schools, but those who own bars. So I believe it's specific for alcohol. Then I would request the chair, they need also to consider other businesses going forward. Honorable members, I now put the question that this Honorable House resolves. Can I call the mover of the motion to respond, please?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, the issue of bars and alcoholic selling outlets came because it's bars that were closed. Shops were still running; they were not closed, and it's bars that were opened just the other day by the president. So those ones were officially closed. The issue of
Honorable Angela, let the honorable member finish, please, his submissions.
The issue of schools, Honorable Speaker, I believe schools are still not yet open. So I don't think they are still meeting with our revenue clerks for paying anything. Still, schools are still closed, possibly until next year when the year opens. Honorable Speaker, I would want just to say these are few remarks that sometimes it's people who, when people raise alarm, when people feel that they are being oppressed, it's when you consider and work on them. It's that sector that has raised alarm immediately after the president opens the bars and eateries. It's when they raised the alarm, and we had to consider them. It's a good idea. Some of these people will never open their premises. Others are just still struggling with their landlords to see whether they'll be allowed to open or not. And many of them, honestly, will not open. The landlords are now negotiating with the other traders who were doing other things. And it's a sector that also has been holding the economy of our county to some extent. When we talk of bars and clubs, we mean the authorized ones, not maybe the ones that are selling the illicit brew. So I think it was good, and I appreciate all members who have contributed, who have even helped the motion to be the way it is now with those amendments that we've done. It now looks better for our people, Honorable Speaker. So thank you all, and even the corrections and the information that you are giving are bringing or will cause other similar motions to come, and I believe this Honorable House will listen, deliberate, and approve them. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Steve Mwandi. I now put the question that this Honorable House resolves, 1, that all the charges for permits, including public health certificates and single business permits for bars and clubs and any other alcoholic selling business be reduced by 50%. 2, that the reduction be effective for businesses applying for permits between 8th October and 30th November 2020. 3, that payments made after, as from 1st of December 2020, will revert back to the normal charges which are being charged currently. 4, no penalties will be charged for late payment or permits in the financial year 2020. As many as other opinions say ayes. Ayes. As many as other opinion on the extended chamber say ayes. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, the House stands adjourned to resume again on Tuesday, the 6th day of October, 2020 at 2:30 p.m. Enjoy your lunch.